And is it on?
We're already live.
Yeah, we're live. So, yeah, my name, sorry for the delayed start. But yeah, my name is Nicholas Zandy. Right here is, my sort of friend, Ellie9, aka Quantum Unia, aka, whatever, MNL or whatever.
Yeah.
So, today's live stream is going to be probably the toughest one I've had to do. It's been something that I've been contemplating for a while, and when I checked the Power Rangers Fanon Wikia, that that's ultimately what pushed me over the edge and decided that I needed to leave the Power Rangers fandom. Now, I will still follow other tokusatsu shows like its basis, Super Sentai, or sort of basis right now, and probably Kamen Rider and maybe Ultraman if my dad actually wants me to watch that, since he's watched that a lot as a child. Believe it or not, it was actually airing as an English dub. So, but yeah, in terms of Power Rangers, until, like, let's say maybe a new company comes and buys them, much like my friend E Pluribus Unum, I'm just not in the Power Rangers community anymore. You got anything to say?
Well, I'm kind of slowly losing interest in it too, but that's because mainly because of Cosmic Fury being the last season, and I think the Power Rangers official Twitter account confirmed that it's done for now, and I honestly I think it may be done for maybe it's on indefinite hiatus at this rate.
I
mean they may do like a reboot movie, but I don't know if that's going to do well.
So, and I think that if it doesn't go well for Hasbro, they probably will let go of the franchise.
Yeah.
So, if you're wondering the main reason, well, I mean, if you haven't checked my Twitter, well, I wonder, where you've been on that front. So, but in case you haven't checked my Twitter, I will show you the main reason why I left the Power Rangers fandom. So, share screen. It would be this one. Oh, where are you? And here it is. So I will read it almost entirely, so you guys can see what it is. I know it's been 8 years since then, but I am still banned from editing on the Power Rangers Fanon Wikia for a millennium over quote-unquote vandalism issues, and I have not found any way of appealing the ban. So basically what this means is, like, yes, I do admit I was somewhat at fault for I do admit being guilty of editing others' pages without their consent and taking them as my own. Obviously, that's not okay, and I think that's a misdemeanor, so obviously I shouldn't do that. But in my defense, again, it was like I didn't really know that it was against the rules, because they didn't make the rules clear on what you're supposed to be doing at the front of the page or something like that. And the way they acted is just plain wrong. So, and worse, I still can't get over the fact that people have been harassing me over it. So I'll show you. You can read this for yourself. Ellie9, you read this?
I don't know. I don't know much about this, so you can go ahead.
Blank already blocked him for 999 years.
That's crazy.
Good. Whatever this face is. We'd be dead by that time, LOL. And this is actually only scratching the surface. It's actually much worse. I think I shared it with one of my friends who's sadly not here right now. And he actually, and I shared him the link. And he said that he was actually shocked about the harassment I was getting and said that it wasn't, that even though I did do a lot of bad things, harassment is not the way to respond to it, and banning me for that number of time just should not be how you handle it. Now you're wondering why I have a problem with this after all these years, you may ask, since it happened in 2015. Keep in mind, I was either 13 or 14 at the time, which meant I was a minor at the time. So, and by the way, harassment of minors actually is a crime. So,
Okay.
So, here it is. So, it's a felony punishable by imprisonment for no more than 5 years or a fine of at most $10,000 or both.
Wow. I mean, that's the state of Michigan, so. But the laws are different like every state.
Yeah, so I'll show you that's at least I'll show you New York first, since
Yeah. Go to the harassment laws, the fine law. Second one. Yeah, fine law, go that one.
Well, I do know that it is definitely a felony.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Nationwide, maybe.
And I'm sure that does apply to online as well. And by the way, cyberbullying and harassment is actually a huge thing. And a lot of this, again, is, and it doesn't matter like what state I'm talking about. Like, no matter what, it's still a crime. Like, I don't know how these, like, the reason why I didn't press charges against them, by the way, is I couldn't afford a lawyer, and I still cannot. And also, my family was dealing with financial issues at the time, revolving around my mom getting fired from a job because of some meddling my dad did, which I won't be talking about. So it was, so we were in a bit of a financial crunch, so there was no way I could. And because of that, because of this harassment, I hereby dispute the block, and until this is overturned, I will not be involved in anything Power Rangers related. Because this is just, which I don't know if they're going to. I tried to email a few Power Rangers fans about this, and it went absolutely nowhere. And also, please don't mention the name, okay?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I already know who you're talking about, but I won't mention their name.
Yeah. I tagged Fandom about it. They haven't responded yet. I am just starting to follow them just so it'll be much more likely that I get them in my notifications. And now I can't make my case to the admins at all as a fully grown adult. And I absolutely wanted this to be resolved as a peaceful manner, and so far, not really anyone has responded to it. So let's let's recollect our thoughts on this whole thing before we get to the next one. And again, this isn't scripted, so if I sound like I'm going off track at times, that's probably why. So, Ellie9, do you have anything to say?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be your thing is going to be overturned. There's no signs of it.
Yeah, they made no indication of it.
I mean, a lot of people do this, like sometimes, like in general, like just to troll people. So maybe they could have been trolling, and sometimes whenever people troll, they forget about it. They forget to, like overturn the joke ban.
Well,
some people do
it
that.
was not a joke ban, I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, joke or not, you're not getting. You're probably not going to get unbanned from that. So sorry to hear that you were banned from that, though.
Yeah, I don't think I'm banned from Common Rare Fanfiction Wikia. I would have to double check, so I'll probably do some series stuff there because I think I can still access that. I may be able to make my case to them. I don't know how they're going to respond. I hope they don't treat anything harassment related should not be treated as a joke. Let's just get that out there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I am telling my fans right now, do not harass the admins about it. It is not okay, no matter the circumstances. What they did to me was not okay. What you may be doing to them by harassing
Isn't okay
them,
either.
It's just not okay either. And by the way, Ellie9, I'm not saying you're totally off the hook because you've kind of done that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we all made mistakes. To be fair, and we all regret them over time. So
yeah, I want to think that those admins did regret what they did, but I highly doubt it.
They probably forgot.
In fact, I don't really want to give them the benefit of the doubt because of something like this. So let's go on to the next one.
Cosmic Fury?
No, we're still on the first part, so because I'm still starting with this whole thing. So, by the way, I will not show any clips of Cosmic Fury because copyright.
Yeah, maybe you can show pictures of it or something.
Let's see. So I tried to send an email to several Power Rangers fans. I will not list any names here. But you can make a guess that it's probably some of the more well-known ones. And one of them, who, by the way, it is one of the more well-known ones, but I will not mention the specific name, just to protect their identity. And this is how they responded. Just let it go, bruh. It's over. And these hysterical laugh emojis.
Hun, was that
That
was that like a GIF or something? Because the picture, I doubt it was actually a picture. It was probably a GIF, but you paused it at a certain frame.
I think it might be. I think it's actually GIF, how it's pronounced, by the way.
GIF, whatever, how you pronounce it.
But picture or GIF, or GIF, I don't know. Regardless, posting a meme like this in a very serious situation about harassment on the admin's part is not okay. And I told them, hey, you really should not have done that. You really shouldn't have said that, sir. And because of that, I actually asked a few of my other friends in the Power Rangers or Tokusatsu fandom in general about it, and they told me that, hey, maybe you should consider deleting the email. And so I sort of did. What I did was I blocked that person and put this whole thing in spam and threw it into the trash. So any Power Rangers reviewer who watched it and saw one of their emails disappear, and their email number going down, that's actually why. It's because this whole thing went pretty terribly like this with one of them. I mean, I'll just make this statement clear on what my opinion is. I legitimately do want to give other Power Rangers fans the benefit of the doubt that maybe they do sympathize with me and maybe they have read the email, because I haven't seen anyone else's reaction, and it was up for a day. It was up for a day, so I think that it would have been it was up for a night, so it would have been enough time so that they could have read it, or others could have, but they chose not to respond to it. Maybe they read Este's I shouldn't have said that.
That's crazy.
Excuse me. Anyways, what that person said, and by the way, I'll try to delete that. So anyways, what that person said, and they may have been like, okay, we're not going to respond to this because this guy said something offensive, and we really don't want to get into this. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I don't know if they're that sympathetic about it. Again, I won't list any other names, but that specific person that I accidentally ad-libbed about, yeah, it was pretty offensive of them to do that. And again, please don't harass them about it. This is not okay under any circumstances. I don't know if this has to be routine, I guess.
All right, so we're getting to Kazuki now.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about Cosmic Fury. So let me share the screen here. So, oh gosh, Common Sense Media. Oh gosh, 2 out of 5. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
2 out of 5 is crazy.
So, this was probably the first season post Megaforce, which, by the way, Megaforce was the first season I watched that I specifically did not watch because I'll show you the images of the Cosmic Fury suits.
Like, even the 2017 movie suits are better than that.
Yeah, just look at this. I mean, what was with these fake abs? They just look stupid.
Like, I'm sure I've seen like AI generated Power Ranger suits that look better than that.
And compared to the season that was quote unquote adapted,
yeah, Kira was much better.
Like, it's night and day when you compare them.
But maybe they would have had an issue. I mean, I kind of get why they would change it. I'm not saying it was a good thing that you're changing, but because if they were going to do like 10 episodes, I mean, I don't know how they would have been able to get that big of a cast for only just 10 episodes, but I don't know why they decided 10 episodes anyway. Like they could have easily done like a 30 episode season or something.
So, there's actually a reason. I read this in a Twitter thread, so take that with a grain of salt. Apparently, it was from a Twitter space that I barely watched. I tried to get speaking on that, but I was unable to. Apparently, it was from Simon Bennett himself. So what?
I got blocked by him.
What was? Well, yeah, but what was apparently said was Hasbro themselves mandated the 10 episode count. So it was clear that they were shooting themselves in the foot on that front. So it was entirely their fault that they did that. So it was a problem they created. And they also rushed the entire thing into production, which kind of explains why the suits look terrible and some of the fight scenes aren't that great. And why just a lot of moments just felt very bad, to say the things. And some of them are just sort of copies of other much better Netflix shows, like Javi losing his arm. One Piece did that better. And there was actual earnestness to that scene because Shanks had to sacrifice his arm to save Luffy. For Javi, it just disintegrated when he opened a portal, which isn't really all as high stakes as Shanks saving a boy he just met. So the way I've seen of Cosmic Fury, it doesn't look all that great. Like, to be fair, it's not really noteworthy bad like Mega Force and Ninja Steel. What I've seen, it looks more on the boring and generic side. Like
Also,
just the whole uneventful, and that's also bad for an anniversary. Like for an anniversary season, you got to have an eventful moment, whether or not it is good or bad.
like,
But when you have,
they didn't even bring that much like past Rangers. They only had like Billy from NPR, the new Yellow Ranger that was in the Once in a Way special. They even made Heckle from Dino Supercharge. Well, they made him the Dark Ranger. So that was okay. That is something that wasn't expected, but that was cool that they did that. Also, they brought back Mick from Ninja Steel, isn't it? Red Ninja Steel Red. So, but they could have brought back someone more.
And the problem there is, well, yes, if it's the past Rangers that get more of the attention than our current team, there's a problem. And it's giving me strong once a Ranger, always a Ranger vibes because of that.
But even worse, though.
I mean, at least once Ranger was noteworthy that the team of Overdrive Rangers were being absolute jerks about losing their powers. And there were also some noteworthy production mistakes, like how the cockpits, some of them weren't edited properly, so you could actually see the Q Rangers in them. So it just looked so. I mean, you think not even a kid's gonna notice that? They're gonna be like, "Wait, mommy, what's that other guy doing in there?" I mean, that's gonna destroy the whole the illusion. I mean, at least with MMPR, they didn't even show cockpit footage at all. So, though I'm pretty sure they could have done original cockpit footage, but at least they didn't show the cockpit footage and just sort of edited it okay. In fact, that MMPR was able to do it better than what Cosmic Fury did. Again, kind of just shows how little Hasbro really cared. If I'm gonna give you a recommendation about the whole Cosmic Fury thing, it's just I would just recommend watching the Sentai Q Ranger. Yes, Lucky can get annoying with this Yosha Lucky kind of thing, but it's at least more entertaining, more eventful. Visually, it's a lot better, and also the lighting's way better. It's just, and again, music's better. Just everything about Q Ranger is way better. And again, for Q Ranger, I can at least remember what happens, like how there was an episode where a pandemic caused by another scorpion happened. Like, I can remember stuff like that happening. Cosmic Fury is just, oh, how explosions return, and it ends with coolio. Really couldn't have just ended it.
Not being the final scene of the entire Power Ranger franchise. It's just really lame. Like,
couldn't they have just ended it with more phenomenal or something?
Or they could have just said once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
Yeah, like they could have used those, and it would have been way more eventful. So, yeah, the whole thing with the Fanon Wikia, and also what was worse than even Cosmic Fury itself is the drama surrounding it. I will probably link in the chat.
Private chat?
So oh, wrong one. So I'm gonna link in the chat for people to Mint Bari's video, where he talked a bit about the drama surrounding Cosmic Fury. So you can, so the link's right here for those of you who want to watch it. But the short version of it is, a lot of people were angry about the suits, and there was also a lot of toxic positivity surrounding it, and it was a huge mess of a reaction, and it eventually put Simon Bennett in an awkward position to the point where he eventually decided to leave Twitter. Though, to be fair, his Twitter wasn't all that great to begin with. So, to the point where both me and Mint Bari were blocked by him because of it. So, yeah, a lot of people were. And to say that, and that was one of the things that was a troubling sign that I knew I had to get out. And again, that whole other thing pushed me over the edge. So because of, and also there was other problems like Austin St. John getting arrested and some other actors turning out to have problematic politics.
Oh, speaking of Austin St. John, I met him last year. I didn't want to, when I met him at Comic-Con last year, which I will not be going to this year, by the way. I didn't. I was thinking about asking him about that, but I didn't want to. That would have been a.
And there was also the Alison Pregler SPD incident that made me start to distance myself from the Power Rangers fandom, because there was just so much toxicity within it that it just made me look and was like, oh gosh, this might not be good. And by the time of the whole thing with that YouTuber, who I accidentally ad-libbed and mentioned, I knew I had to get out. So those two main reasons, as well as a few others, are the reasons that I am out of the Power Rangers fandom. Now, could I still check things out with Power Rangers occasionally? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe eventually I could end up being like the unlucky Tug who left for a while before he got back into Thomas Tank Engine, more so because of what the fans were doing rather than the actual show itself, where he went back after all those years of the whole Blubba stuff and reviewed it. So maybe, again, I might check out Cosmic Fury in a few years and maybe the reboot and see if it was as bad as it really was. As far as I can tell, and from the whole reboot stuff, I don't think I really want to continue with Power Rangers at this point. It's been a tumultuous ride for me with Power Rangers, and also the sad thing is I got into the show right when it was at its worst with Megaforce, so yeah, it was probably a sign that I didn't really want to be with Power Rangers. Like, I'm sure when the show was at its best, like under the old Saban era and the Disney era, maybe the community was way stronger. But at this point, the community just seems too toxic for me to continue with it. And plus, much like E Pluribus Unum said in his Q&A, I honestly have found much more interest in Super Sentai because they're allowed to show deeper storytelling. They actually have a higher budget enough that they can hire better set designers and get better special effects, better lighting, and better music. And because Japan's standards are different, they're allowed to go more PG-13 with a lot of their action and their storytelling, which Power Rangers is still at this moment unable to do. And according to the whole production history, they've been catering to the lowest common denominator, little kids, who are going to grow up sooner or later. And because of that, a lot of people will just not show interest in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, I just feel like, and same thing with Kamen Rider, in fact, Kamen Rider it has gone a lot darker than even Super Sentai at times. Like in Kamen Rider Black RX, for example, they were able to show the death of Kotaro's own parents, have the main villain beat the everlasting you-know-whats out of their minions if they don't comply with them. So they were allowed to show more things in Kamen Rider. And also, in Ryuki, there were a lot of characters who straight up died. And yes, I know Ren does reset everything back to normal so that nobody actually dies, but still, people did actually die in Ryuki. And I think Stephen Ford even made the comparison that Ryuki was a lot more like Batman Begins or a Christopher Nolan or Tim Burton type film than, like, say, Power Rangers, for example, because what was it? Which felt more like just a generic kids show. And like, I don't know if we're ever going to get another RPM type show where there's actual stakes, or another In Space or Time Force, again, where there's actual, like, some stakes and a somewhat complex villain who's at least has understandable motivations, like hating on humans for how humanity has treated him. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to get to that point, even with this new reboot thing. I just feel like Power Rangers at this point is dead in the water. And I don't know how it's going to recover. So because of that, I just lost all interest in the Power Rangers.
I haven't lost interest entirely, just in, like, terms of, like, the show. I collect toys. I'll be collecting the toys. Aside from that, I'm not really interested in. Other than
the only thing I will do with Power Rangers is maybe catch up on older seasons.
Maybe
since I think they're up. Like, since they're up on YouTube, I can still view them and see what the show today could be if they followed those examples. I mean, I've watched a few episodes of Mixed Force, though, and that show wasn't that good, so...
I mean, I wonder what Power Rangers would be like if Saban never sold it to Disney, or if Disney just kept it to this day. Like, it'd be a lot different.
I don't think Disney would do much with the show. If I wonder if it would be different if Saban didn't sell the entire franchise to Hasbro and just sold the toy license.
Yeah, I mean, we'd still be getting this like 2-season series on Nickelodeon though. But if Saban never sold in the first place, like in 2002, like I think it would be a lot different. I think it would be much better. But the cast would be different though. I wonder how that would be like this. Like we wouldn't have the same ones like for all seasons. So
I mean, Chiplin actually worked on RPM, by the way, so maybe we would have gotten an RPM type season under Saban, anyways. Maybe.
Because I think that if Saban kept Power Rangers instead of selling it to Disney, I think like the cast would be different. Well, because a lot of the cast like in the Disney era and Neo Saban were all from New Zealand. That was because they filmed it in New Zealand. So I'm not sure if all of them would have been on on the Saban version of those seasons, and the names would probably be different for some of them. Like, not a lot of people think about like what Power Rangers could be like if Saban never sold it.
So, so now that that whole section is over, I'm now going to go into what I will be doing for the time being. So, first up is more, shall I say, political type videos.
Elections.
As well as like maybe speculative videos about a multi-party America. Inspired by E Pluribus Unum's videos and JJ McCullough's, something like that, or JJ McCullough's rather poorly researched video of what he thinks some multi-party America would look like. So I'll show you what the parties would look like. So far, this is what they are. So this is the Democratic Party, what it would look like. And you may notice something different about it.
What, so they swap the colors? Red is for Democrats, blue is for Republicans.
And you know why I did that?
Okay.
I changed it to more of a social democratic party. So, and same thing with the Republicans. And of course, I think there would be a socialist party, a far-right nationalist party, and the libertarians probably would be stronger. Same with the Greens. And yes, I used a different logo because I think the Greens would be a lot different, a little more moderate. And this is and the Whigs, which are basically the trendy centrist party. And the Populists, which are essentially the party that's socially right-wing but fiscally left-wing. So, thoughts?
Okay, I guess it's interesting. You saw on the Democrat slide, right?
I was sliding through, so this is the Democrats again.
Okay, well, hold on. Go back to the...
This is where I am right now.
Oh, okay.
And these are the rules I went by. So yeah, ethnic or religious-based parties, I put a ban on that. Same thing with regional-based parties. And they also have to appeal to a specific ideology. And the Democrats and Republicans would have to remain parties.
You're just adding more parties. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. So, thoughts on what I did with the Democrats?
Okay. Let's see the leaders you have. Okay, Biden, Jeffrey. So this kind of inspired from just current leaders in the party, right?
Yep.
I don't know about Phil Murphy for the leaders. I don't know. He's not really talked about. I'd honestly put Gavin Newsom there. He's more relevant or well known nationally. I mean, is he like the current chair of the Democratic Governors Association or something?
Yep.
Oh, okay. The anthem. Okay, I think I knew that. Happy Days Are Here Again. When I went to the FDR Museum, like months ago, I remember they were like playing it. We were watching like a film on FDR, so I do remember that. I think FDR used it for his campaign theme, back in his time. But let's see. History. All right. So it's founded by Jackson Van Buren. They were in favor of NATO, and the UN. Okay. All right. So go to the Republicans. I want to see. Okay. Haley. Okay. Why is she the main? I honestly put Trump. She's probably more relevant in the GOP than Haley.
The reason I did that was because I wanted the party because that's the colors are the different colors are actually an indication that the parties are actually a little different. Like the Democrats, for example, they're red because they're more socially democratic here, and Republicans they're blue because they're more neoconservative. So Bush type.
So the Trump has his own party, right? I'm assuming
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Leaders, all right. Haley, McCarthy, Scalise, McConnell, Mark Gordon. I don't know why you put him for Wyoming. He's not one of the most irrelevant governors. William Lee, is that supposed to reference Billy from Tennessee?
Yep.
Okay, Billy, I don't know if he'd affiliate with the neoconservative wing. He's actually like pretty socially conservative, like to appeal to the populist wing. Gordon, he's pretty irrelevant. And the GOP, I don't know why he'd be a leader.
Well, he's actually part of the current leadership, so
is he like the RGA chair or something?
No.
Who's Todd Ricketts? Did you mean Pete Ricketts?
No, I actually did mean Todd Ricketts. He was actually the finance chair of the GOP for a while.
Okay, never even heard of him until now. Okay, Ronald McDaniel, chair. All right, Francis Blair and Alvin
That's
Bove. Okay,
founders.
Francis Blair. Did he like run for VP or something? Like,
nope. He was the guy who considered getting Lee as the main general of the Union Army, but he declined and joined the Confederate Army.
Let's see.
And anthem here.
All right, we're the Battle Hymn of the Republic. All right. Head to the next party. Okay, Socialist Party. Okay, Jeff Merkley. I guess I'm surprised. Okay, Bernie Sanders. I'd put Bernie Sanders as the main, to be honest. And Elizabeth Warren. All right, Shea Tlaib, Rocky Anderson. Okay, is he like in the Constitution Party? Oh no, I'm thinking of Rocky De La Fuente. I'm thinking of Rocky De La Fuente.
Yeah, Rocky Anderson. I think he challenged Obama from the left. Last I checked.
I don't know why the Socialist Democrats would challenge Obama. I mean, Obama's pretty much liked by all wings of the Democratic Party, so I don't get why they. But okay, so ideology: Democrat socialism, anti-capitalism, left-wing populism. All right, that's far left founder Eugene Debs. Okay. Oh yeah, didn't Eugene Debs like run for president while he was arrested or something?
Yep.
In like 1920. Which side are you on? All right.
That's what they use as their anthem.
Isn't that like made by Pete Seeger? I thought that was.
That was actually no, it wasn't written by him, but it was performed by him.
There's a cover. All right.
Yep.
Okay, what's the next one? Is it like the Freedom Party? Oh, Nationalist Party. Okay, close. Trump. Okay, MTG, Gosar, Cruz, Hawley, DeSantis, Michael Lindell, Kellyanne Conway. No idea who that is. I'd put Carrie Lake, honestly, as general secretary, to be honest. National conservatism, paleoconservatism, right-wing populism makes a lot of sense. Founder David Duke, Strom Thurmond, George Wallace makes perfect sense. Okay, Hail Columbia. This is their anthem. I never heard of that. Okay, the date. Did you pick that day, April 20th? Did you pick it because it shares the birthday of a certain World War II leader?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
A lot of these dates have meanings to them.
Yeah, April 20th. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I know this has to be a reference to him. Okay. Merger between the Nazi Party and Independent Party. Okay, the moment I saw a Nazi in April 20th, I knew for a fact. Yeah, I knew who I was referencing to, but okay. Let's see. All right, support from the Rockies in the Midwest and Deep South. Okay, makes a lot of sense. Is there any more parties to this?
Yep.
Libertarian Party. Okay, Justin Amash, Thomas Massey, Mark Amadei, Rand Paul, Mike Lee, Kristen Nuno. I don't know if Kristen Nuno is a libertarian. Honestly, I'd put him more moderate GOP. To be honest,
I consider him a libertarian.
Okay, Ron Paul, Jacob Hornberger. Never heard of him. Center right fiscally, center left socially, centrist overall. Founded by Barry Goldwater. Okay, makes sense. But all right, what's the next one? Don't Tread on Me. Oh, as our anthem makes a lot of sense. Because that's what a lot of libertarian signs use. But you use that like that banner in their Twitter bios. I've seen. But all right, Green Party. Ed Markey, Jay Inslee, Al Gore, Nina Turner. All right, basically environmentalist party.
And you know what anthem I used?
Green. Okay, makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
And you what that actually was later used for in a certain video game?
What?
Mario World.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. You know that one?
Yeah.
That was green.
Okay. Any more parties to this, or is that all the parties?
Nope.
Whig
two
party.
more.
Abigail Spanberger and Josh Cottenhammer. How are they the Whigs? So that means the Whig. So is basically the Forward Party the modern day version of the Whig Party?
Yeah, and a mix between it, the Alliance, and Reform parties.
Ross Perot is our founder. Alyssa Slotkin. I don't know. Okay, so basically Blue Dogs, Democrats. Andrew Yang. All right. All right. I'm assuming the next party is like a really like a right wing party. If there's
partially.
Okay.
So
what would that be? Actually, you can explain a little bit of the Whigs before you get to that.
So the Whigs. So yeah, this is what the populace. So yeah, populists.
Oh, I thought it was going to be
like
a really far right party. I thought it was going to be that, but okay.
Nope, we already had one. So
okay.
Yeah, the populists.
I was expecting one with a certain rapper as their leader and a certain commentator who we have in the vault. I was expecting that.
So yeah, this would be so basically this would be a party that's center right socially, center left fiscally. And is overall syncretic.
Is that the last party on
the
list?
Yep, that's all of them. 8 parties. So thoughts on each of their anthems.
Okay, the Democrats Happy Days Are Here Again makes sense because it's the FDR one. Okay, Battle for the Hymn Republic. I don't know if that one. I'd probably if the Republican theme, I would assume it'd be like a song that has the word America in it or something like maybe
America the Beautiful.
American Pie.
America the Beautiful. America the Beautiful.
Okay, maybe I was thinking American Pie, but Socialist Party, which side are you on? Okay, makes sense. I was thinking This Land Is Your Land, but Nationalist Party.
Hail Columbia, happy land. Hail ye heroes, heaven born.
I was thinking of Sweet Home, Alabama. I was thinking it'd be that. That Sweet Home Alabama would kind of make sense, especially with George Wallace as one of the founders.
Oops.
All right, Libertarian Party. Don't Tread on Me makes sense because that's what they're all about. Okay, Green Party. All right, green makes sense because there's green in it. Now for the wigs, Tippy Canoe and Tyler 2 makes sense because it was it was the first wig presidential ticket, I believe, one of the first ones in their party's short history. So in reality, so
And this actually has 2 anthems, believe it or not.
okay.
So you see the second one?
Yeah, old Dan Tucker.
The reason for that is because it was the basis for 2 Whig Party campaigns, so may as well use that too. And the People's Party, I went with 16 tons.
All right. Actually, I was thinking 16 tons, maybe. I was thinking for the populace. I mean, since they're like anti-war and they're like populist, I was thinking maybe the anthem would be "Born in the USA" because that song is about like protesting from a war, and the populace are like anti-war. So I was thinking that'd be their anthem.
Well, again, they're center right, socially fiscal,
Okay.
and socially center left. So,
All right.
So I think 16 tons would make the most sense.
All right.
So thoughts on the colors?
Colors are interesting. I like how you. I mean, it's kind of. I like how you swapped the Republican and Democrat colors.
So you know how I did that?
Did you just look up other versions of it, or did you color it?
No, I used a photo editor to put them in negative colors.
Oh.
It was actually really, really easy.
Pretty sure those versions that already exist. I'm pretty sure other people have done it before.
Unfortunately, there really hasn't been, so I'm the only one who's been able to do it. So, blue Republicans.
All right, then socialists. All right, that's just some logo from a past socialist party, right?
Yep, and also the color.
Pink.
I think they just use those on maps to avoid confusion with the Democrats.
Okay, American Nationalists. All right, that logo makes sense.
And by the way, it's actually supposed to be a purple, not a dark blue, just FYI.
Okay. Then a Libertarian Party is just basically the same. Green Party.
Yeah, yellow.
Green Party. That logo looks new, so it's like globe. It's more environmentalist.
Yeah, I went with the UK Green Party logo, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I just cropped it to get rid of the text so it wouldn't look so obvious.
And you made it in the style of the sun with the leaves. All right, the wigs. Okay, an owl. Is that, I'm assuming this like the old Whig Party is like their original
modern Whig Party, actually.
Modern Whig Party.
Yeah, that's actually a thing. And also I used gray because there wasn't any other color I used, so I was like, yeah, I'll just use gray.
All right, and then for the People's Party, okay, orange, and then red and blue. All right. I don't get the meaning behind the symbol, but
it's a pelican.
Pelican. Oh, okay.
And the Whigs, it's an owl because they're the wise centrists.
All right.
And the greens are a globe and
environmentalism.
Leaves. And the libertarians, they're a porcupine because they're very defensive and they don't want people to tread on them.
Like if you're thinking, you know what I would do for the libertarian logo? I'd make it like the Statue of Liberty with the porcupine horns. Because they're the Libertarian Party of Liberty, and also they don't tread on me.
And this is actually the Constitution Party logo, by the way.
Okay.
And this is an eagle.
Eagle, okay.
And this one, I just use another logo. If they had a mascot, I'd say probably a bull moose as a reference to Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, his Progressive Party.
And Republicans, of course, would use the same elephant they use because I think it was a seeing the elephant kind of expression from the Union Army.
Or maybe make it for the hell of it, maybe make it a rhino, because that's how certain conservatives like to call their. Okay,
And for Democrats, of course, they would
Just
probably
indeed.
use a donkey.
a donkey. Okay, I mean they kind of already do that.
So yeah, those are what so that's part of what I've been doing. Another thing that I've been doing was retouching my wizard story.
Okay.
So I will present that to you. It's are you there?
Oh, I'm here. But
Why did you turn off your? So this is here's a good look of the poster I chose.
Oh. Okay, cool poster. On your own?
And this is the so yeah, it's a fan adaptation idea I have of Kamen Rider Wizard and a fan sequel to that of Witch. So I will read each of these all the way through. So, and when it comes to Will and Lionel, I'll be reading lines for Will, and Quantum, you'll be reading Lionel's lines.
Okay.
So let's give this. Fade in, Heatherfield, Connecticut, Humphrey Street. In an average but well-maintained house on Humphrey Street in Heatherfield, Connecticut, an upper middle class couple live their newborn son. Abigail Collins, the head of who works for house and working for the Regional Chamber of Commerce, is a normal day with her husband Bill and their newborn son Lionel as she makes her way to work. Will you take care of my little Lionel, dear? Yes, my dear, I will. Good. Pretend I was kissing.
Okay, I see the script.
She kisses Bill on the cheek and does the same for Lionel, still in his baby chair. So how's that as an introduction to the characters?
Interesting.
We dissolve to the Chamber of Commerce, and she gets out of her car and notices some strange people walking about. Some dressed in robes, others dressed in colonial uniforms. Knowing it's the 21st century, she wonders why people are dressing in outdated clothing, and she knows it also isn't the proper weather for reenactments due to it being cloudy with a chance of rain and thunderstorms, and the leaves falling from the trees as it's the autumnal equinox. What kind of a fashion trend is this? Halloween isn't until next month. Then Calvin, her boss, steps out of the car. Look, Abby, it's not our business here. Business to judge people's bizarre fashion. That's the job of the fashion magazine that weirdo Cornelia Green works for. Our job is to help businesses grow and flourish here in Heatherfield and keep our government out of the hands of radicals. Whatever you say, boss. Thoughts on that?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I wanted it to be less forceful with its politics, so I change it so it's less obvious how we're supposed to feel about them. And so Abigail works in her office on her computer effortlessly. when suddenly a speaker turns on. And Calvin rants incoherently that nobody can understand him. Basically, it's like, something like that. And Kylie, his secretary, over the speaker says, Calvin Coons wants all of his top employees in his office to discuss a very urgent matter. Please come to the main office now. Abigail sighs, and she gets up and walks away from her office and heads to the top floor where her boss is. Thoughts on that scene?
Interesting. All right.
I got the you know where I got this idea from?
Where'd you get it from?
From The Incredibles, there was that scene where Mr. Incredible or Bob Parr works at the insurance company, and of course he has a corrupt boss who doesn't care about his customers. And so there's that ranting incoherently, and his secretary basically told Bob that, hey, you gotta come to the top office now. And you know where I got Calvin from?
Calvin Coolidge?
Yep. And the last name should be kind of an indication.
The U.S. Senator from Delaware?
Yeah, that too.
Who succeeded Biden?
Yeah. So next we go to the main office, and Calvin sits in his chair behind his desk with his secretary standing behind him, both clearly unhappy. Sit down. Please sit down, everyone. Everyone sits in their seats. I'm not amused. I'm not amused about what's going on outside our building at all. Why? You saw them, Abby, didn't you? Those oddly dressed weirdos? What did they do now? How they are dressed is the least of anyone's concerns, since they clearly don't work for us. Our real concern is that they've been loitering on our property and saying such weird things as, the White King's gone, or long live the child of the light. Our security had to escort them off the property, but they were still in an unusually good mood afterwards. Are those guys even from Earth? The way you make them out, they sound like aliens from another planet. Aliens, Jimmy? They wouldn't be able to come here from those other planets miles from our own that we somehow know can support life. What would they be doing on this planet in the first place? I'm just saying, they don't sound like real Earthlings to me. Then Abigail suddenly remembers her sister-in-law. My husband once told me about his sister who happens to work in another world. Maybe it's something connected to her? That man is a real nutcase, Abby. He always seems to proclaim himself as the mighty echidna from Greek mythology every time he comes here for open houses, and considering what he allegedly did to your twin sister, why you married him is beyond me. He was already found innocent, and I've known him for so long. He's not that terrible. Calvin tries to throttle Abigail, but Kylie stops him. Fine, everybody get back to work, and make sure none of those weirdos get back on our property again. They all head back to work, feeling that it was a waste of time to be there in the first place, talking about nonsense conspiracy theories. Thoughts on that?
Nonsense conspiracy theories. Of course.
Also, do you think thoughts on my impression of a Brooklyn accent, of a
New York accent?
Well, technically it's a New England accent.
No, mainly a New York or Brooklyn accent.
Thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's somewhat accurate. But hold on, Hershey, did it actually exist in Witch, or did you just name it after the vice president?
That's actually a real sweet street in New Haven, by the way.
It's probably named after the vice president.
Well, obviously. And then that night, everyone is sleeping, and suddenly Mr. and Mrs. Collins hear a funny sound that wakes them up, disturbing their sleep. And Abigail gets up and investigates this strange sound and sees 5 cloaked figures walking around, discussing something about a boy, the son of a couple, that calls themselves the Olsons, alerting her as she recognizes that name, and it turns towards her, and then she turns towards her husband. William, dear, you haven't heard from your sister lately, have you? No. Why are you asking me this stupid question? Well, at work, my boss told me about weirdly dressed people walking in front of our office building, and I thought of your older sister, and now I saw these 5 cloaked figures with very familiar voices gossiping about a family that calls themselves the Olsons. So? Well, I just thought it was just something to do with your offspring. With their offspring. At a loss for words, Bill gets out of bed and looks out the window and sees 5 cloaked figures, recognizing them as 1 male and 4 females, delivering something that looks small and very human-like to their doorstep. I can see that, Abigail. They seem to be dropping off for some reason, almost as if they want us to, oh no, care for the child and raise him as our own? I'm afraid so. Why, after all these years of escaping from your now late sister's stupid magic-filled life as some sort of fairy witch with powers to control the storms of our world, just to bring inanimate objects to life to do her stupid chores, do we have to take care of her offspring? Far too complex for you to understand. For now, even if we don't care for him, we must raise him alongside Lionel. Fine, but when he turns 3, you must teach him to do chores and torture him for fun if he doesn't comply with our rules. With pleasure, my dear. Thoughts on that?
I don't have any thoughts right now.
Why?
I just have no comment at this time. Maybe like read a little bit more. I'll have more of an.
4 women, known as the Guardians of Kanjakar, which is inconsistent with its spelling, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I found no consistent spelling. And 1 man, Caleb Green, leave a bundle of blankets with a boy named William Matthew Olson inside on the Collins family's front porch. Caleb does the honors of placing Will on the front porch with tears in his eyes. Cornelia wraps her arm around Caleb, comforting him. Oh, I still can't believe Will and Matt are dead. I know how you feel, Caleb. Oh, she was my best friend. Irma, it's okay to get upset. Emotions are strength. They show that you care. Cornelia takes a note out of her pocket, and she places it on Will's blanket on the front porch. Good luck, Will. Finding no business staying there, especially around nasty upper middle class people, they all head home for some needed rest on that cold, dark night. Thoughts?
All right. So the Kanjakar, are these like the same characters from the original Witch, or did you make the new?
Yep.
Oh, these are the same ones. Huh.
Yeah, these are basically, it's like cameos from a previous iteration.
So how long does it take place after the original Witch?
It starts out with 20 years and then 30 years.
Oh.
So then we cut to 15 years later. A now teenage Will is fast asleep in his bedroom until he's abruptly awoken by his Uncle Bill and Cousin Lionel. Up! Get up! Now! He gives up and walks away angrily. Then Lionel, now this is your turn. Seeing that his lousy father failed to get his cousin up, he decides to do it himself. You read the line.
Wake up because it's our first day of high school.
Say it with a little bit more emotion. Like how Dudley Dursley would say it. Say it again.
Wake up because it's our first day of high school.
He rushes down the stairs, is in excitement. Will begrudgingly opens his door, gets dressed in his uncle's old messy clothes from his teenhood, and heads down the stairs for breakfast. Abigail, excited. Abigail. Happy first day of school, Pumpkin. Still disappointed that you're still going to that school at Sheffield. Don't worry, I've arranged for my son to be in honors class every hour, where only the best students get taught, and not one of those decrepit fools. Will finds this offensive, but he calms himself and cooks his aunt and uncle's breakfast begrudgingly. Come on, hurry up with our eggs and bacon, you worthless nephew of ours. Will, after finishing cooking breakfast, serves everyone, including himself. That's it, boy. Very good. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, the way he was unwilling to make the breakfast. Yeah, because his uncle and aunt were demanding it.
Yeah. Then we cut to 291 Humphrey Street, exterior in the driveway, where the Collins family head into the car, and Bill slams the back door of the car open and gives Will a warning. And points his keys at him. I'm warning you now, boy. Any pranks you pull on Lionel, or his girlfriend Isabella, any at all, and you won't go into your friend Angelico's house for a sleepover this Friday. Got it? Yes, Uncle Bill. Okay, now get in. He opens the back door for Will, who hops into the car and closes it behind him. Thoughts on this scene?
I mean, how he gets a warning to not, he can't go to someone's house for if he pulls any pranks on anyone.
So basically, it's referring to a previous incident where, in actuality, it was Lionel and Isabella who were pulling the prank on others, but they saw it in the wrong way. And so the school bell rings as all students rush inside, and Will heads to his locker and puts his backpack in his locker and heads to class with his supplies. Zachary rushes towards Will excitedly. Hey, Will! Will, excited. Will says, Hey, Zach, how have you been doing this summer? Just fine. How about you? Well, the usual. Endless chores that Uncle Bill could be doing, as well as getting beat by his belt whenever I fail to do his bidding. Well, that's too bad. I sure wish your parents were still alive to take better care of you. Well, my dad was a drunk, and because of that, he drove his car off a cliff with my mom in it, killing them both. That's definitely your uncle talking. But, well, what really happened to them? Before he can say anything, the bell rings. Ding, 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 ding. Why don't we discuss this at lunch today? Sounds good. And they head to class as the last school bell rings. So, thoughts on that interaction?
How Will's confused and Zachary, they're going to discuss it later, right?
Kind of.
All right.
And so they dissolve to the cafeteria a few hours later, where they sit with the girls where Will, Lionel, and Zachary sit with the girls at the same table. And the three girls and boys discuss some strange goings-on in their lives. Is it just me, or have there been strange things going on when we're next to things? Well, if you mean all the water from the bubblers, yes, specifically bubblers, this takes place in New England, by the way, splashing all over me when I'm trying to use them, then yes, there have been some strange things happening. I was talking about accidentally causing a tree to burn whenever my family and I go camping. Well, that's nothing. I totally cause an indoor wind whenever I sneeze. Did the windows break? Yes. Hope your insurance covers that. Well, my stupid cell phone is talking to me all the time. Yep, I most certainly do.
Is that an Amazon reference or something, or iPhone reference, the Alexa?
Yeah, that's a reference. Izzy! Don't call me Izzy! Okay, knock it off, both of you. Fine. But at least your plants don't get overgrown like mine when I touch them. It's like magic. If any of you sissies say anything else about magic, I'm going to puke. Will rolls his eyes at his cousin and continues to eat his rather disgusting lunch from the cafeteria. I wonder how professional these so-called cooks in this cafeteria really are. Why do you say that, Stinky? Because, Poppy, this food tastes like it's been on the road for so long, and this lemonade tastes like it was watered down from all the melted ice in it. Well, considering that education is way underfunded in this country, it's not surprising that our food and education aren't of the best quality. Enough about politics. We need to focus on what's affecting us, such as our unknown magic, and then Lionel actually lives up to the threat and throws up all the disgusting magic, hearing all the disgusting magic stuff happening around his quote-unquote friends. And Izzy, out of her concern for her boyfriend, uses the water around her to clean up the barf and throw it in the trash. Your turn. Reading this line.
So you aren't kidding. There are stray chicks going around you?
So now do you believe us?
Yes, but that doesn't mean I like you, Stinky.
And neither do I. Will is filled with rage, and he's ready to kick his cousin's butt. Same with his girlfriends. And Zachary stops him before he can do it. Will, remember what your uncle said? Yes, I know. Can't hit my cousin, or I can't visit you, Rindon, or Angelica ever again. Listen, I dislike your aunt and uncle and their rotten son as much as you do, but potentially assaulting their son and their potential future daughter-in-law will not solve anything. It'll only escalate the situation further and further and will only lead to war. Fine, but that doesn't mean I'll ever appreciate his space. So thoughts on that?
So Zachary's like basically try to convince Will like not to
give in to his impulses.
Not to give in to his impulses, yeah.
Thoughts on how they introduced their powers?
I guess it was interesting.
And so then we dissolve to the Green family household, where on Friday evening, Will and Lionel arrive at the Green family house for a sleepover. And they hop out of the car as Bill and Abigail get their suitcases out of the trunk and bring them to the Green family household. Will is finally able to go to his friend's house after years of not going there and heads in first. They head into the living room as their parents bring the stuff and greet Mr. and Mrs. Green. Will! Angelica! Will and Angelica hug each other with love and joy, as now they can see each other somewhere that isn't school. Looks like our sweet little angel is overjoyed. Come on, she's just happy that her friend can make it. And he's finally been able to behave himself. I sure wish his real parents were still alive. I do too, honey. He wraps his arm around her. All right. Enough about this emotional banter. Let's get this thing over with. Okay, son, okay. You just don't understand the fine points of having a sleepover. So yeah, I create a new character, Oliver.
She like the brother of Angelica or something?
Yep.
Ah. Bro kid just spawned in.
Yeah, because he was a newly created character. So anyways, cut to Green family household in the living room where everyone sits on the couches. Now, let me tell you all a story that'll have a special meaning for 5 of you. Mom, they really don't want to hear a story. Shh. The universe, after years of trials and tribulations, was thought to be at peace, especially after the last known threat, the White Queen, was overthrown, and the Black Queen was installed to replace her. But someone, claiming to be your grandson, the White King, rose up and overthrew her, and broke his homeworld, the Fast World, off of the Council of Kanjakar, and Iridia and Arcanta and other worlds followed suit, forming the Congregation of Mount Thanos. After a long and drawn-out war and changes in rulers and legal systems, the Separatists were defeated and all their governments were deposed. However, the remnants of the White King's forces still loom to this day and are not to be reasoned with. And they are people who gave in to their inner demons, a force rivaling the Guardians, known as the Knights of Mount Thanos. It is up to a group of people to defeat them. And those 5 people are what are known as the Guardians of Kanjakar. Now, for some reason, with a C. And I was one of them when I was your age, but that duty has now passed down to your generation. Thoughts on that backstory?
So backstory, so like Lionel is like confused of like what's happening, like thinks that this is like fake, and like wants to.
So you read your line now.
What kind of silly story is that?
You saw me using my water powers to clean up your puke, right?
Yeah, so
you still don't believe in magic, do you, Mr. Fancy Pants?
I'm a spoiler of any practical objects year after every year. None of them have been controlling my destiny.
Same here, dirty boy. You should understand what I had to go through after my sister got all the love and attention. Yeah, obviously Oliver's going to be a bit of a problem later on.
Mm-hmm.
So Cornelia shushes Lionel and Oliver and opens up a box holding a pink amulet with silver accents. This is the heart of Kanjakar. It contains the elementary forces of nature. In the past few years, you've been having unusual experiences. Am I right? Oh, yes, they have. Why is it every time we talk about magic, does my phone, who calls herself Alexa, feel that she has to talk? Because you made me with your electric powers. Isabella. Sorry, Mrs. Green. Please continue. Now, since you rudely interrupted one of your teammates, I will start with you, Isabella. You've noticed all the water near you behaving strangely, such as that incident with the drinking fountain. Isabella opens up her water bottle, and water comes out, and she just barely catches it with her mouth, probably making her clothes wet. Okay, alrighty. Cornelia turns to Zach. Zach, you've been always afraid of fire, but focus now on the candle in front of you. He tries aiming for the candle in front of him, but accidentally hits the banana in the fruit bowl. And then Rindin blows on the fire here on the banana and makes it go out. That was easy. I'm guessing my power is air. Cornelia turns to her daughter, Angelica. Angelica, my sweet little angel, you've noticed that all the planets near you tend to grow faster than they should. Angelica places her hand over the flower pot, making the seedling grow, but she accidentally overdoes it, shattering the pot in the process. Why does this always happen to me? All 5 of you will get better with your powers. Well, at least Mom hopes you do. Now your turn. No. Your turn?
What about me? I never experienced anything strange happening around me except with whenever my Leslie cousin is involved.
Oh, you do have magic powers, but they are completely separate from those on Kanjakar.
How do you know that?
Far too complex for someone like you to understand. Anyways, one of you will bind the others, and with the heart of Kanjakar, will unite them, summoning and magnifying their powers. She lets go of the heart as it travels from guardian to guardian until it lands on Will, the guardian of Quintessence. And Will grabs onto the heart, places it around his neck, but doesn't like the look of it one bit. Mrs. Green? Yes? Can I change the look of this thing? Pink really isn't my color, and necklaces with heart amulets aren't really my thing. Well, the heart of Kanjakar can change its appearance based on its keeper's desires, as seen with one team where all but one of their members were male, making it unique that way. So, be my guest. How about you turn into a belt to hold my pants up, but not just any belt. I want you to look fancy with a black hand on the silver buckle with gold accents. And the heart of Kanjakar does exactly what he says. Perfect for holding my pants up. So, this is, by the way, what it looks like, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Here it is. Thoughts on this design?
Just the wizard driver.
Yep.
So,
let me get back down to where it was. Whatever. I hate to interrupt, but have you noticed what word our initials spell? She gives Will a piece of paper. Rinyan gives Will a piece of paper that she wrote with a red pen. It says wizard. My team had a name just like that, except we were known as witch. When can we start training? Pizza delivery guy knocks on the door. Pizza! You begin training tomorrow. For now, we must eat. Your turn.
All right.
The pizza comes in the door, and they place it on the table.
Oh, I just so happened to have
Your total-
pizza for dinner tonight.
Your total will be $45. Also, coincidentally, I had pizza yesterday.
Ah. Coincidences.
And Cornelia reaches into her purse and gives him her money. Here you go. Thank you. Have a nice day. So, there are 5 different kinds of pizza. Cheese, pepperoni, veggie, meat, and supreme. Pick what you like. All of them pick up their plates and choose their favorite pizzas. Now, by the way, this is what the pizza probably would look like, since, let's see, New Haven pizza. So this is what their pizza probably would look like. Thoughts on?
All right. All right. New Haven pizza. I'm pretty sure I've tried something like that before. I mean, it's only like major cities have their own styles of pizza, like LA, New York, Chicago. Like I don't know. New Haven has their own style of pizza. It's just generic.
It does.
Well, I probably tried it before, outside of New Haven. So
Also, Detroit has its own style. So now back to the story. They all pick their favorite pizzas. Will and Angelica pick pepperoni. Lionel and Isabella pick meat lovers because Lionel's very gluttonous. And Zachary picks veggie, while Rendon, Cornelia, and Caleb pick supreme. And also, Lionel probably dips his pizza in mayonnaise. You know what that's a reference to?
What?
The fact that Kamen Rider Beast likes to dip everything but the kitchen sink into mayonnaise. And Will puts his pizza on his plate, and he turns to Angelica and Zach. I can't believe that my uncle lied to you. Yeah, we believe it. Why? Just another one of his many tricks to keep you in line. I hope my uncle hears what I have to say, because I have some choice words to throw in his face for lying to me like that. That's what I like to hear, Will. Thanks. His smile soon fades as something now crosses his mind. So, how did my parents really die? Why not talk to my mother about it? She'll tell you the true story. And they sit down on the couch and eat their pizza. And Will turns to Cornelia and asks her a question. Mrs. Green, how did my parents die? There was something I left out because I didn't want anyone to upset your nasty uncle. What is it? You want to know what happened to the White King? What does it have to do with my parents? Everything. What do you mean? After his subjects on the Fast World overthrew him in a revolution, out of vengeance, he decided to destroy the leader of the then team of Guardians and stop a new team from forming, who was your... and that leader was your mother, whom you were named after. The Oracle sensed that it was a mistake because it would only make you his equal, and that you would have a power you didn't have, and thus your parents sacrificed themselves to save you. His finishing blow rebounded and hit himself instead when he made an attempt on your life. And what is the power that saved me from death? That is something you know only in time. Thoughts on that scene?
There's definitely an interesting explanation to what happened. I mean, the parents dying because like they sacrificed themselves. I mean, that's been used in like other movies and TV. I've seen that theme used before.
Yes, I did take that a bit from Harry Potter. So
yeah, I could, especially with the main character living with the uncle and aunt and the cousin. Yeah,
and being abused.
Yeah.
And so now we dissolve to Uriah's shack, where Uriah is alone in his shack due to his past crimes and wishes for the day he can rule the streets of Heatherfield again. Then Kurt arrives at Uriah's shack with his top hat and cane and tells him the news. Hephaestus? What is it, Hermes? New Guardians have been recruited by Kanjakar, high schoolers to be precise. Then Uriah transforms into his monster form known as Hephaestus. Tell Minotaurus and the Murmurs to attack the old warehouse at noon. He transforms into his monster form known as Hermes. But General Hephaestus, why can't we attack City Hall or the Regional Chamber Office? An old warehouse isn't enough to send a signal. We don't want this world to know of our existence. We need to attack places where nobody has been in order to stay in hiding, but still show off our strength. Fine. But fear not, we have already sent in a spy to infiltrate Kanjakar and destroy it from the inside. He, according to the will of the White King, is destined to be our new leader. What is his name?
All right, so let's
thoughts on this episode.
The first part, I mean, it was like a revise. I know, like we were at an original version of this before.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can see a few things that I've been changing. So here's the next part where they head to Heatherfield Beach.
It's gonna take a while.
And I wish I was home. It'd be warmer and less bat infested. Oh, I'm starving. I wish I had some plain sugar donuts for breakfast. But bats are more terrified of us than we are of them, right? For you, Zach, I think it's a toss-up. Enough with bats and donuts. It's time for training. Are you teens ready to jam? Jam donuts are overrated.
I'm sure you said that
Now,
like a past version of this before.
What?
The jam donuts are overrated. You said that before.
Yeah. You know what that's a reference to?
What is it a reference to?
Haruto can only handle plain sugar donuts for some reason. It's a bit of a gag with him. Now, would you put your fancy new belt on? Is there a secret code I need to transform the whole team? Yes, just 2 words. Guardians Unite. Yeah, a little generic, but still beats lazy phrases like transform or time to know. Will! Right. Guardians Unite! And then they transform. Quintessence! Water! Fire! Earth! Air! Thoughts on that?
So in this version, is it like the separate forms of Kamen Rider Wizard? Are they each their own riders instead of like it being one rider global forms?
Well, I'll get to that later.
But did they all combine?
Spoiler alert, you're technically wrong.
Yeah.
Hold it. Call me crazy, but I don't remember the uniforms being tan with so much detail with stones and as chest emblems. I remember them being green, blue, and purple with striped stockings and leather boots. And probably somebody thought it was a good idea to let a boy run a team of girls. And you have a problem with this now because, hold that thought, skirts aren't really part of my style. Of course they're not part of a man's fashion sense, if men even have one. First off, some men do wear skirts, such as people in Scotland who play bagpipes all the time. Second, it's just Will and Zach's personal choice not to wear them. And third, how can any of you fly if you don't have wings? Pretend that was Ringen flying.
Okay.
And then Isabella rolls, show off. Really? That's your reaction to Ringen having wings, even though none of the other Guardians, even though the other Guardians don't? Do you know what that's actually a reference to?
What is it a reference to?
The original comics where not all the Guardians can fly, is only Haylin can do it, since she's the Guardian of Air. And the wings are really just decoration in the comics. Yeah, I know, it's weird. No, it's not surprising to me that the Air Guardian is the only one who's capable of flight, since that's her element. Exactly, Isabella. And then Zachary tries to form a fireball, then drops it by mistake. Even as your best friend, I think you need to work more on controlling your powers. I hate to say it too, but I think you need more training too. But I agree with Will. Oh yeah? We'll top this. I give you Angelica. You still can't get my nose right. Angelica with a broken nose. Boo! That wasn't very nice of you to use your powers in a way to depict your teammate like that. Boo you want, all you losers. But then she gets so cocky, she drops all the water without paying attention to it, allowing sea creatures to fall on the shore. Ah! 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 Crabs! Why did the heart choose these unreliable nitwits? This is proof that Kandrakar is broken beyond repair. Will gets so angry that his eyes turn white and he floats up in the sky. Has Will completely lost it? Sea creatures, go back to Heatherfield Bay where you belong. The sea creatures obey and they walk into the bay. Oh gosh, that was a weird rhyme here. At least someone is putting his powers to good use. I'm telling you, my dear, these kids just aren't responsible enough to protect every dimension in this universe from evil, let alone one of them. Was I any different when I first became a guardian? They were just too old to begin the training. The age they become guardians doesn't matter. What matters is they learn patience, discipline, teamwork, and responsibility, and honesty. All things they clearly need to learn. Why don't you have their parents teach them how to master their powers? Angelica, could you come here? What is it, Mom? We have a solution for how to fix this training problem. Thoughts on this?
So what would the solution be?
Each parent trains each individual guardian, if they even have one.
All right.
I have no idea who would train Will, but I would imagine Oliver would try to do it for some reason. We dissolve to East Rock Park, and then soon they head to the park. Earth Guardian, please approach now. She walks, and Angelica walks up and stands next to her mother. I will teach you how to commune with the vegetation of this world. Something we Earth Guardians call green speaking. Why do I need to learn this? True Guardians don't question orders. Every plant in this world has its own name and language. They close their eyes and hold each other's hands. Heart of Kandrakar, hear our power over this land. Please help us to hear our subjects, to our loyal subjects, hand in hand. Thoughts on this scene?
I don't have no comment at this time. So,
and then we have a scene where Tarani trains with Zach. But then Angelica and Cornelia break out of their trance. Angelica, yes? Call the rest of the Guardians to get to the old warehouse. Minotaurus is a very dangerous monster and is not to be reasoned with. On it. She flies away and gets the Guardians into position. And the Guardians fly towards the warehouse and get into position. We need to charge into the warehouse and maintain a defensive position. We cannot allow Minotaurus to escape. The other Guardians nod their heads and they charge into the warehouse. So this is the start of the action scene. Then inside, the Murmurs attack innocent blue-collar workers by various means. I guess it really isn't an abandoned warehouse, I guess, isn't it? You get where the joke comes from?
I don't know where it comes from.
Don't worry, it's just the abandoned warehouse district.
Okay.
After taking out the workers, what are those things? And after taking out the workers, they slowly walk towards the Guardians. And then Angelica tries to use her Earth powers on them, but to no avail. Oh no, they were ready for that! And then they charge towards the Guardians and attack them with their strength. And then Isabella looks up and sees Minotaurus, who is a normal-sized human shaped like a bull, and notices something familiar about him, but cannot fight him due to her not being anywhere near a body of water. So, and then Minotaurus walks towards her, preparing to attack, and then Zachary blasts his fire powers at Minotaurus, destroying one of his horns, basically replacing the scene where Haruto destroys Minotaurus's horn. And there's the fight scene. Call that firepower? This is firepower. Yes, I won. That's what you think. What? Then he absorbs the flames, and the other Guardians vanish in a full black leather suit with a long trench coat and red glass armor with a silver face and a visor with metal plates surrounding the glass. So that's basically Kamen Rider Wizard in this version. What kind of trickery is this? It's showtime! And of course, we see the entire fight scene from Kamen Rider Wizard that I'll skip through. And then it ends. What happened? Remember when we held each other's hands? Yeah, but where are you going with this? Well, our powers were united and we were transported into the heart, and we went with it, except for Will, because he was the keeper of the heart. Wait, how did you know we were in the heart this whole time? Because I was, before I can say anything else, a fold opens. Will, don't look at me. I can't explain it. But judging by the glow on the heart, I think we're being summoned. Here we go again with the transformation. Guardians, unite! They transform. Let's go! And then Lionel runs towards the warehouse with his parents. Your turn.
Ta-da!
And what are we supposed to be seeing?
There was a magic portal here. My girlfriend, because and friends transformed to human-sized pixies.
Son, you know there's no such thing as magic.
But
End of discussion. Let's go home. And they drag Lionel away to the car. Okay, I am officially impressed. But what is this place? It's Kandrakar, up close and personal. Mom? Dad? Oliver? Did you bring us here? I didn't. What? Oliver, your mother, and I were minding our own business back at our home, but once the Council of Kandrakar calls... Wait. Kandrakar has a government to run its day-to-day operations? I thought that was just Dust Guardians running everything. My daughter still has a lot to learn about Kandrakar and the universe. Hello there, Irma. Still disappointed your girly fist cost us the ribbon at the science fair back in 2004? No, that was 30 years ago. Besides, if that hadn't happened, I would never known if I was a guardian. You know what? Same here. I guess your mothers weren't so different from you when they were our age. This way. The Oracle awaits us in the court of the council. Thoughts on that introduction to the whole Kandrakar thing?
yeah, a lot of people didn't believe it, but they began to believe it.
Who's this Oracle you keep speaking of? She's our leader and a being of true wisdom. At least that's what she used to be before it all got politicized with factions forming on Kandrakar. Thoughts on that piece of world building?
I mean, yeah, because it definitely talks about how Kandrakar is the origins of it.
Irma, what did I tell you about shattering a young guardian's innocence? To not to? Right. This way, kids. The Oracle awaits your presence. They walk into the court of the council, and they sing this song. So... Flames, wind, earth, water, and quintessence stew. Flames, wind, earth, water, guardians of light. Praise to the ones who came before you.
Honestly,
Flames, wind, earth, water, day and night.
Honestly, I'd sing that to the tune of "We Didn't Start the Fire."
This is actually to the tune of the song "Up from the Waters." Flames burn with a wonder. Flames shall burn with a wonderful fury. Flames, wind, earth, water, guardians of light. Always those who grow to preside over a jury. Flames, wind, earth, water, day and night. Thoughts on that stanza?
Okay. All right. So it's about like each of the rings from Wizard. Is each stanza
The
referencing
elements.
Yeah, the elements.
Water shall cross the rivers from dragons, flames, wind, earth, water, guardians of light. Now you wield our joy and our passion, flames, wind, earth, water, day and night. Thoughts on that stanza?
It's about the water one. So
This one is air.
air, and then there's earth, and then led by contestants. That's the end, like the last one, or second to last one, I should say. Actually, fourth to last one because one of them repeats 3 times.
It's actually this part of the stanza.
Just
flames, wind, earth, water, day and night. Flames, wind, earth, water, day and night. Flames, wind, earth, water, day and night. Thoughts on this song?
It's interesting. Yeah. Maybe I don't know if it'd be possible, or maybe like maybe you could try putting that into like an because people do this thing that like an AI music covers. Maybe you could try to like type it out and then maybe see what an AI like cover how it would be sound like.
Oh gosh, I do not want to deal with AI. Okay.
Okay.
As your leader, as your oracle and your leader, is my duty to welcome the newest team of guardians known as Wizard. Mom, you're the oracle? Yes, my great-grandmother, Yan Lin, who once served as the oracle, mentored me in case I desired the position of leader in this great body. And when the right time came, I was elected by most of our council to lead us, especially during the trying time of conflict that ended just before all of you were born. Isn't that exciting? Isn't what exciting? I'm sorry, but when will somebody tell us what's going on? Oh, I most certainly will. Tirani, if you please. Why are you blowing?
I wasn't. There's something else blowing.
In the old warehouse, when you were all fighting Minotaurus, there was an unintentional consequences for taking cover by holding each other's hands. You all came together to form one entity, a Quinto Guardian, with Will as your main vessel. Funny story, because I didn't exactly see any of it happen. I was in a deep sleep just like everyone else. Yes, except for Zachary, the Guardian of Fire, who was the only one who was conscious, so he was the one fighting, but he spoke with your voice and used your body. Thoughts on that? LA9?
Okay, so Will didn't see any of it, but Zachary did. So, all right.
Could you explain why I was the only one who was active? We still don't have any references for that. So much for one who's a great being of wisdom. We weren't finished yet? Okay, continue with your mumbo-jumbo. This mumbo-jumbo is about to inform you that you yourself are in great danger of giving in to your negative emotions. Tirani, in what way? This way. She uses the flame again to inform her about Minotaurus. Your grandfather, former Heatherfield police chief, Chris Lair, upset about the public mistrust in policing, gave into his negative emotions and became Minotaurus, with envy as his main motive. No, it can't be. Please calm down, my dear. Go away! She slightly pushes her mother and collapses and cracks begin to form around her. You remember this in Kamen Rider Wizard?
I didn't really watch Wizard.
Tirani turns off the flames and seems to be waking up from a trance. Oh no, what have I done? What's going on? My dear Isabella is giving in into her inner demons. Is there any way to reverse it? Not at this moment, no. Please, Will, take care of my sweet little angel. She's the only one I have. What must I do? Take her to my house. My husband will be waiting there. I'll do my best. Then she picks Isabella up, and the fold opens, heading towards the Tubbs household. I'm going with them. Angelica! My dear, please, just let her go. She's a growing girl, just like you were when she was your age. Fine, if she wants to go, then I won't stop her. Then they walk into the portal and head to the Tubbs family house. Thoughts on that scene?
So they're just letting since the main characters are like starting high school, right? So the parents are like just letting the high schoolers get more be more mature and independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, it's time.
So I'll show you guys the rest of the episode. What it would look like. Unfortunately, Ellie9?
Yeah, I'm here.
What was it?
No, it was about what?
So they took it to the so they took her to the house and this stuff happens, so my voice is wearing out a lot, so I'm gonna have to be careful with what I'm reading.
I'll read for you. All right. What are you two doing here? Was about Chappelle. Is beginning to giving in her inner demons, and she seems too far gone. Oh no, what happened? Your dear grandpappy is turned into a monster. My dear father-in-law, ex-police chief Thomas Slayer, becoming a monster? Please, Albert lay on the couch. She needs some sleep. They carry Isabella. Okay, Will and Angelica carry Isabella onto the couch. Irma and I will be playing her favorite shows on our television to cheer her up. We must return her home, hope for the better, and she's our first child. We cannot bear to live without her. Yes, Mr. Tubbs. They exit the front door and begin walking home. Cuts to the street at the nighttime. Will and Amy come from Isabella's house, angry, baffled about why
Angelica, actually.
Okay, Haley will be willing to subject their GP to seeing her own grandfather turn evil. I can't believe that Mrs. Linden and Miss Ashcroft would be willing to use the image of Izzy's grandfather, and it seems just so out of character with the two of them. Exactly. Why would someone so wise down to earth as the two of them would do that? As one of them who's been in the receiving end of her bullying, even she doesn't deserve to go through the stress of seeing her grandfather turn into a monster. Well, did any of the recent events change your mind about her? Maybe it did. Did it change yours? It's hard to say. I sympathize with people going through depression after losing loved ones, either to darkness or across the bridge to the next life. But I don't know if there's an excuse for how awfully they treat others. Many dictators like Hitler and Stalin had rough childhoods, but it doesn't excuse their actions as dictators. Yeah, I agree. But unlike those dictators who saw this as a teenager and so she could change it better for her. She goes up through all middle school. I wouldn't say that they were the nicest person. Angela stops, and so does Will. Yeah, and you told me the letter they were giving your favorite pair of shoes that she and your cousin Lyle was still off my feet. Angelica taps Will on the shoulder and smiles. I didn't get to say thank you at the time because I was upset, but now I do. Not only do I want to thank you for helping me learn selflessness, but I want to do a favor. I help Isabella show her that selflessness is better than all else. Well, you're welcome, Angelica, and I hope they can do with it. Is there anything I can help me with? Angelica nods happily. Yes, please close your eyes. Okay. Will closes his eyes. Angelica moves closer to Will and kisses him on the lips. He opens his eyes, sees Angelica's kissing him, and asks his arm around her, hugging each other strongly, almost lifts her off her feet. Fade out, black screen. Okay. That ending was a surprise. Yeah. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I had to alter it because I didn't think the ending was that great originally.
All right.
Now here's part
We're really
3.
gonna do the next part? Oh god.
I'm only gonna do the parts that I changed.
Okay. Yeah,
Let's go over. Yeah. I mean, the problem is these episodes are like 22-minute episodes, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wearing my voice out. Oh gosh. Let's go through that. Okay, here's the first scene I changed.
Okay. Sticky Garden Gnome Geeky Airhead, I suddenly say to you, Will scoffs, still calling his names Poppy? Someone who's been a victim of bullying, I think we should let her speak. Well, she's right. Even the biggest bullies in the school deserve to speak. I'm sorry. What? Please tell me you're kidding. I'm very serious. I'm sorry for all the harm I did to you as I was relying on cash giving to most notions. I refer to the past actions, realize how much a jerk I was telling you. Everyone changes looks at each other to realize that she legitimately decided what she did. Well, it turns out, said Angelica. As for you, the time I saw you try to sneakers, it wasn't totally my fault. Angelica being confused and skeptical. Could you please elaborate? Isabella, my silver boyfriend, I wish I was doing so I can get out of him. I know I should have ignored him, but I was so tempted to say no. Well, that sadly sounds like my cousin, but why did I try to stop you? They are the kind of people that end up being in a high school relationship, no matter how abusive it is. You end up telling you this. I don't think I deserve my magic powers out of cost of bullying it done to you. Well, maybe some people deserve forgiveness, and I forgive easy. Really? I thought after all this time you kicked me out. Look, it's clear I believe for all the things you did was only depressed by my brother cousin who wants to see nothing but others separating his hands. Also, fighting amongst each other has been very productive as a guardian, so we only got each other, and it's clear that the White Kings force superior grouping would be united as one just to find ourselves against a tremendous threat to the universe. Dissolving to Heatherfield was Outer Edge. The woods will see Oliver with his new fighting fear amongst the training dummy truck to one he says didn't show much fighting prowess before aside from being a star football player. Oliver turns towards Will. Will, sorry, I was just Oliver interrupts Will. It's okay, just some last minute training with this whole dummy. Why are you training with that blade in your hands? I thought football players weren't allowed to use weapons. Will looks over at Oliver's spear suspiciously. Oliver shows Will his spear. Oh, this blade is Shieri. Shieri? More powerful than any spear anyone has owned. I use it for hunting season just like my father did once before retirement. Oliver turns to Will. Listen, I was going to come looking for you. Why didn't you go stay in the woods, look for something to fight? Sure, why not? Okay, is this it?
So yeah.
All right.
So yeah, this is. So basically, Oliver is the bad guy. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, and Will's being the main character, so yeah. All right. Okay.
And this is the final scene.
All right, want me to do this?
And I changed it too.
Package for you, my dears. Are these the new leather boots Angelica and I ordered from Germany? Why, yes, it seems that, especially if you like measurements from what I heard. Yep, that's what makes this particular brand unique. Will opens the screen door as he enters the house. Mr. and Mrs. Green, Angelica. He turns to Will sternly. Even as a military veteran, I think it would be more polite if you knocked first, Will. All right. Look, Caleb, don't treat him too harshly. He seems to have seen something traumatic, and he urgently needs to tell us about it. Cornelia turns to look at Will, feeling very concerned about it. Is there something wrong? Does it have to do something with Spy Kanjakar who corrupted Oracle's mind? Yes. A spy broke into the corrupt Oracle's mind again? I thought we tightened enough security to prevent something like that happening. Well, if this is true, that had to be something that's with the whole time. Cornelia turns to Will. Was it? Will nods nervously. Cornelia, it was? Who was it then? You promised to don't scream when I tell you who it is? Cornelia looks at Angela. Caleb, they all nod, seem to know who the conversation is going. He declares after Will. No, we will. We promise we won't. It's Oliver. He's a spy. He's regrouping the remnants of the White King's minions to revive him. No, that can't be true. I can't believe that Red Bird will do such a thing. I believe in you, Will. He's never saved his after their grandfather died. I need to work Kanjakar what our son did. I know he's out there somewhere. I need to find him. Will, I know how you feel. Actually, Elion, my best friend, who was corrupted by Prince Phobos, the lay mother told me that you can't just jump on ahead of action because of that. Because knowing his athletic abilities, his son is not the one to be baited. She's right, knowing how powerful both he and his minions are. You're not ready for it because now with urgent business, I'm going to Kanjakar, discuss the matter with the Oracle. Can you please open the fold? He nods and uses his ring to open the fold, accessing Kanjakar. I'll see you when I get home. Caleb waves as he enters the fold, heading to Canter car. Would you like something to drink to calm you down? You look so overheated. Oh, scroll to the next part. All right, sure. All right. What are the age drinks that we have appropriate for age? Either water lemonade, sweet tea, super trade, citro, root beer, or zippy cola. Okay, so did you make this a parody of Coca Cola?
Yes, in some ways.
A Coca Soda.
And Superade, that's Powerade or Gatorade. Citro, that's Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Okay. Root beer, please. Walks out to the fridge, put ice in the glass, take 2-liter bottle of root beer out of the fridge, pour it into a glass, give it to Will. Will takes a drink and gets a sip. Cornelia walks into the living room with his box and turns to Will. How are you feeling? If I'm honest, I'm in the nicest way. I feel like a guy who's seen a lot in his life. Cornelia takes a new boost out of the package, starts putting in the left one. I know how you feel. I've been angry at Caleb at times. He's felt the same way, so we still care for each other. As late Yan Lin once told me, fighting is very counterproductive, especially when we have one another as friends, as family do. They were always there for me in bad times as well as the good. I wish I knew my parents longer as an infant. Cornelia puts it on the right boot and zips it up. I've only rarely met your father, but your mother, I knew her. Even though we didn't start off on good terms, her sister Emma, Haylene, and especially Sarah and I were far close to the friends of their original self and me. I myself was a spoiled rich girl in middle school. When she came, she got a lot of attention that I otherwise had. What chuckles, I guess, attention-seeking runs in your family. Yes, you could say that, but I wish I didn't. Once Elian, my best friend, was kidnapped by her evil older brother, needed someone to confide with you and your mom, even though the teacher let for me since then they're good friends. Well, smiles. Cordelia smiles back. Yeah, like a mother kind, but sometimes quick to anger. Despite many issues, I know you're a great guardian leader, just like your mother was. William being confused. Okay, well, what is that? Does it confuse? Doesn't that include the fact that I'm a guy? No, it doesn't. It's a common misconception. Anyone can be a guardian, regardless of whether they're male, female, or anywhere in between. Women like Susan B. Anthony didn't let women's status in society prevent her from advocating women's rights to vote. You should let your gender determine your role as a guardian. That's one of my issues. Don't worry about it. You don't have to be perfect. You be who you want to be, even as a guardian. Angelica shrivels the zipper boots up. A little help here? Angelica, you're 15, struggling with zippers? I'll help you, Angelica. He walks over to Angelica and left his up with the right boot after getting him unstuck. Stands back up. She's right. Sooner or later, I have to work on his zippers. That's a promise. She hugs Will. Fade out. Black screen. To be continued. Okay. That was interesting. Also, I'll be back in a minute.
What are you doing?
I gotta go get something. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, all right, I gotta show something. So, that happened over the summer. So I gotta go find this. I gotta turn my camera on. Hold up. Oh, all right. So, okay, I'm looking through my phone right now. Hold up.
So, what are your thoughts on the script for the 3 episodes?
All right, I think that was definitely the 3 episodes were interesting. You're working on the 4th one, right?
I'm actually gonna watch the entire series all the way through and see what I need to change from each episode.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what all the things I'll be doing tokusatsu related for now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Angelica has a problem with working on zippers.
So this thing that happened. So during the summer when I was in I had to deal with this for like a week and a half.
But I'm using your storage.
This kid was using my storage, bro. I had a bunch of people's storages.
Using everyone's storage.
Bro, I had to deal with this. This was crazy.
Okay, so
oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing tokusatsu related. Sorry if I bored you with a now 2-hour-long stream. Damn.
Mm.
I guess I kind of miscalculated, but yeah. So, despite the fact that I'll be out of the Power Rangers fandom, I probably won't be out of the Tokusatsu fandom in general. So, that's what I'll be doing until like something drastic happens with Power Rangers and it goes back to doing Sentai adaptations. But as far as right now, probably not right now.
Alright. But some of the GOP presidential debates happened. I saw one of them. I saw like the first one. I didn't see the second one, but yeah, all of them were just like not a lot of them really stood out. Like if Trump wasn't running, I feel like the Republicans would be doomed to lose 2024 from the very beginning. Like none of the candidates stand out who are running.
I mean, all I'm going to say is that no matter what, the Republicans are going to lose 2024.
Yeah. And I was still wondering who Trump's running mate's going to be, because it looks like Carrie Lake, who many Republicans wanted it to be, isn't going to be running. She's actually running for Senate in Arizona, which is going to benefit the Democrats a lot. So if Lake is the nominee, Gallego should be able to win in Arizona. But for nationwide, Trump's running mate, it's probably going to be either Marjorie Taylor Greene or Kristi Noem.
I think Kristi Noem.
Yeah, that's more likely. But yeah, that's yeah, and in terms of like Senate candidates, most is going to be Trump endorsed candidates, really, except for like West Virginia and Montana. It's going to be Justice and Kentucky, who Trump isn't going to endorse.
Because of all the crazy toxicity in the Power Rangers fandom, as well as what happened to me over the years on Power Rangers fandom, especially since that happened when I was a minor, by the way, I just don't think I'll be able to do anything Power Rangers rated for the time being. So,
I'm still going to be collecting the toys.
I don't think I'm even going to buy. I don't think I'm going to buy any of the toys. All I can say is Chris Cox needs to resign as CEO, and Hasbro should consider letting go of the show license for Power Rangers so they can just solely focus on the toys.
I mean, I just Bond buys it back again. Wonder how that would be like.
Or Lionsgate buys it out or something.
Lionsgate. I'm pretty sure Lionsgate had it during the Neil Saban era.
Well, it was distribution rights, actually.
Distribution rights, okay. But maybe Sony could buy Power Rangers. That'd be interesting.
I mean, they do own the music, so...
Really? I didn't know that.
That was according to the Orange Ranger, though I don't know if that's a full-on source.
But...
So, I don't know what's gonna happen with Power Rangers. All I can say is that I won't be in it. I'm not completely interested in it.
I mean, I've slowly lost interest in it too, but my final nail in the coffin for my interest in Power Rangers will probably be me going to Morphicon in 2024, and that may be the last ever Morphicon, so I might as well go to it. Oh my.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to go to it. It's too far from my house.
Well, I'm farther from Morphicon than you, but anyway.
I mean, unless I'm able to convince Shuki to carpool with me, I don't know if I'll be able to go to Morphicon.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to be going now. It's great being on the stream.
Same here.
Right,
yeah,
later.
I think we're going to end the stream right now. So all I can say is, for those who are still in the Power Rangers fandom, may the power protect you. And I hope to see you guys next time around when I do a live stream. So see ya. Take care.